Welcome to MotoringFile. Today we are greeted with not one, not two, but three new special editions from MINI that are set to launch globally with March production. That means we should see them in dealers by late March to early April. Three, and they are pretty wild. Untamed, Untold, and Unresolved. No, that's a joke. Unresolute, or Resolute, I should say. It is the Countryman we want to start with, which of course is the Untamed Edition Countryman. This is actually a new color for us, which is something we haven't seen for a while, really. This is actually Momentum Gray. The wheels, of course, are also new with this sort of mirrored finish. Really, really interesting graphics on the side only. That's coupled with some pretty cool little bits and pieces they've added. So let's take a look at some of that. So a lot of body color. This Momentum Gray is fantastic in my view. They go with, of course, the black trim. Those graphics, as I just mentioned, really playing off of that kind of monotone look. A lot of that high gloss black trim throughout. The wheels are really stand out here, 18 inches, and they are really interesting. Something we've never seen before from the brand, in that sort of aesthetic. Inside, some funk, definitely. This really, really cool green for the Untamed Edition. This is a brand new green sports seat, of course. And then a really cool printed dashboard that actually has backlight in it as well, which is, you'll see a little bit more in MotoringFile, actually has sort of images of mountains that light up at night. Super funky. Definitely in line with where these special editions are going. As you can see it light up right there. This is a pretty out there sort of concept, but the cool thing is it's available. There's no limit on production. You can just go grab it. Next, let's take a look at the Resolute Edition. And this is for the F55, the 4-door, the F56, this is the 2-door hatch, and the F57, that's of course the convertible. Like the Countryman we just saw, this is available in Cooper S form only. This is also available as the in the Cooper SE form, which is all electric, as is of course the Cooper SE on the Countryman. It's available there too, but that's not all electric, of course. That's a plug-in. So what are we looking at? That's Rebel Green. We are seeing Rebel Green on a non-JCW car with pepper white top and mirror caps. This is finished off with this really cool kind of matte bronze look. And again, bringing the funk. Like, this is pretty cool. Black wheels. This is, in my view, probably the most immediately aesthetically pleasing of the three. I think it's a nice nod to the history of the brand, while again kind of bringing this modern feel to it. Again, a little bit of funk, a little bit of like sort of old school 60s and 70s flair. Here we see that all electric Cooper SE. I think it's great. You know, it's definitely got some touches, some flourishes you wouldn't expect. Again, you see that matte bronze showing up. But in my view, what MINI's done here has really given us a completely new view, a new sort of aesthetic perspective on the hatch. Next up is the Clubman. This is pretty wild, and the most wild of the group by far. So what are we looking at? This is the Untold Edition of the MINI Clubman. This is a tour de force of sage green and matte gold, or in this case, brass trim. Really interesting here. This is the only car that comes as a JCW, so check. And it's also the first time MINI has dyed the spats, as they call them, or the plastic wheel arches and trim underneath. So it's got this sort of tone-on-tone look, which is pretty cool. 5 individual stripes with lots of individual sort of stripes within them, as you can see. A lot of 3D printing happening. You've got those bronze wheels, brass wheels, I'm sorry. And you've got so much attention to detail in this car. This is the most outlandish. This is the craziest. And, you know, this may ultimately be the coolest in some ways for some people because of how different it is. Again, you've got a ton of that brass. Inside, you've got more of the green. I believe this might be called Highland Green. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous interior. It is something that, I actually think the interior works better there than any of them. So there you have it. 3 special editions, a lot of funk brought by the MINI design team. And you got to love it. It's not for everybody, but it's cool to see it on the lots. Coming soon to a MINI store near you.